Welcome back to CTG Chase the Game, where we chase the best games over here. Right now, the East Coast got some good games, got some good competitions that we rocked with this past Christmas. I hope you guys had a great Christmas break. We're fucking not going to school anymore, so it's not a break. But you know, time with
Holiday
family.
season.
Holiday season,
Holiday.
exactly. I had some new signs in the back. I got to shout out Aubrey's parents. They got me this sign that says "Let's go." I don't know if you can see it, but that's like definitely my little catchphrase. Let's go. I mean, everyone says "Let's go," but I say "Let's go" all the time. So let's fucking go. Let's
You got it
freaking go.
trademarked.
Let's go. Trademark it. All right. So right now we're looking at the records for Chase, me, AJ, and Nigel. First, let me introduce my co-stars. Nigel's not here; he wasn't able to make it. The Lehigh legend, but we got the Mount Pleasant Hall of Famer over to my left. AJ, Adam Johns. We got AM with the PMs with the bets, all FanDuel action. Allen over there with everything
Yes,
bets.
sir.
He's gonna kind of tell us what is actually gonna happen with our predictions when we get on that second half. But right now, we're gonna kind of review our scores and records right now. So right now, AJ is in first with 11 dubs. He guessed 11 games out of the 21 games we've guessed so far. He's in first with me trailing behind him with 10 correct guesses, and Nigel in dead last at 8. So he's got to come back. Couple weeks in a row, he had some good hot starts, but then kind of fell off in the back half. What we'll look at this past out of the 5 games this past week, AJ got 3 correct, Nigel got 2, and I got 1. I got lucky with the Falcons last night, beating the Rams, which was crazy, man. I was seeing a lot of stuff about the Rams today, and about like how they played kind of bad so far on the road, especially out on the East Coast. Like when they play teams on the East Coast, it's kind of like not really works out for them. They tend to lose those games. So I mean, I don't know. It's a lot of people. It's funny how the NFL works, where like watching that game last night, still thinking even though the Falcons ran up 21-0, like you still think, okay, the Rams are still in it. Matthew Stafford's gonna still drive down the field, still make it happen. A couple times where those plays were questionable with Puka Takua. Getting that call overturned. I mean, obviously it wasn't a catch when you come down to it. It looked like a catch. It looked like a great catch, but it didn't end up going their way, which sucks. But I was the only one that ended up guessing the Falcons with that one. I mean, I obviously got lucky, maybe, or I'm just seeing the field better than you guys, But
Getting one right's not seeing the field better.
yeah, I got them all otherwise. Yeah, but no, it's so the Falcons and Ram games. I'll touch on a little bit, because that was a big upset because with the Falcons, I'll get into that with the playoffs and kind of throw a picture up with AJ's that sent me. We'll get into that, the playoff stuff, in the predictions, but I'm going to throw up this picture, this MVP versus Drake May and Matthew Stafford. Right now, it's a little, obviously you guys can't see it because I'll throw it up after, but it shows their stats head to head. So like total touchdowns, as you can see, Matt Stafford's leading 42 touchdowns with Drake May 34 touchdowns. Pass yards, Matthew Stafford's got 4,448 passing yards, so he's up. He's got a couple of those stats higher than Drake May, but looks like Drake May's got most of those titles. But I don't know. The MVP race is looking close, looking hot, because right now, before that game last night, Matthew Stafford had the best odds, but right now it's a little dicey. Some people might say that Drake May's the next MVP, but we'll see. So we'll go ahead and hop in the Bears 49ers game. That was a great game on Sunday night. 49ers took the dub, 42-38. Obviously, we'll get more into the Panthers and Seahawks, but because we went to that game, all three of us actually. I went with Nigel. It was great seats in the club level. It was a good ass time, but not a great outcome obviously. But we'll kind of get into that a little bit more. I'll let AJ kind of touch into that. But then obviously the Texans Chargers losing that game, which I don't know what's going on over there. They didn't get things kind of rolling over there before into the playoffs because they're not looking too hot. But and then the Lions, the Vikings on Christmas Day, the Vikings won, which is crazy. It looks like the Lions
They're
are
done.
Looks
Yeah.
like they're done, man. I'm gonna have to throw that one in the title. The Lions are done. Detroit Lions are done. But
Bye bye.
yeah, that's tough because they have so many weapons, but just can't get a dub. But
Yeah. I mean, NFC West is so loaded right now, where they're pretty much going to run the
yeah,
playoffs here with who's going to get these wild card seedings. The Lions are officially eliminated. And really, in the NFC right now, the only toss up is Carolina and Tampa, and the rest is seeding. Um, it's looking like the Packers are probably going to get that seventh seed because of the tie. Now, Rams lost last night. That kind of changes it a little bit, too. But as a Panther fan, we're looking at 49ers or Seattle for in Charlotte if we can handle our business, or the Falcons can handle our business for us.
yeah, yeah. Because what is it? The Falcons. If the Falcons win, no matter what, we win the division. If they beat the Saints, right?
Correct. So it's the only way the Panthers don't make the playoffs are if the Bucs win and the Saints win. So Bucs need help here. They do not control their own destiny. We do, and this was because they lost to Miami. I don't think anybody was really talking about this possibility happening because we all expected them to beat Miami. But it is the NFL. Shit happens. So, it'll be exciting to see. But knowing being a Panthers fan for 20 plus years, I can assure you that we will probably lose Saturday, and we're gonna have to sit there and root for Atlanta on Sunday. I hope it doesn't happen. The Bucs are looking bad, but and we're still underdogs, which is crazy.
Yeah, yeah, that is crazy. I didn't know that. We're looking at the underdog, and I mean honestly, yeah, history shows that we'll probably end up losing this game and bank on the Falcons beating the Saints, which sucks. But I mean, I hope that's not the case. But I don't know, man. Going to the game Saturday or Sunday, it was tough to watch because, like, watching them versus the Rams. I was at the Rams game versus how Bryce capitalized on mistakes, and when we got the ball, we just didn't do anything with it. It was just it was tough. We couldn't drive down. We couldn't score. We couldn't put the ball in the end zone. I mean, people were saying T Mac was sick and he was
Yeah,
questionable and stuff like that, which he did hardly ever got the ball. I don't think he had but like 2 receptions, maybe 3. I don't know what the stat was, but I mean Rico had some good carries, but I don't know. It just didn't look like good football on the Seahawks end either, which makes me worried because like the Seahawks weren't even playing good and they ended up winning. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I still believe, in the Panthers. I still believe them, and so I guess we can get straight into the predictions and everything. Uh,
Well, hold on. I don't want to get too. I think our defense looks pretty solid,
yeah, yeah, okay.
and
I like where you're going with that. Yeah,
the DBs played pretty well. I mean, there were times like we got think about it, Seattle might have one of the best defenses in the league, and the teams I'd put them behind would probably be Houston and Denver. But besides that, they might have the best defensive back room, in the nation. And yeah, I mean they're dude. There are our receivers got zero separation, and I think a lot of people always want to point towards Bryce, and it's like the more past few games I've been watching, especially the ones we've lost, like Bryce is not the issue.
Yeah.
We got receivers that are just getting straight up strapped. He had to dump it off to the running back because nobody was open. And, Tet being sick, does that have a little bit to do with it? Yeah. And then we have, Leggett being offsides, after a big play. And it's like, bro,
He did it
why is
twice in a
it
row.
why is it every game XL is doing something to make it look like he don't know how to play football?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, the
Yeah.
dude passes the eye test. He looks the part. He's fast. He can jump. But I'm like, does this guy know how to play football? You can't go out of bounds. You have to be a step back. It's like, this is middle school stuff, man. This is Pop Warner level stuff that, like, what's going on? What are the, I can't imagine, I can't imagine what the discussion looks like in the film room. I mean, is this guy just getting his ass absolutely chewed up?
I mean,
It's got to be embarrassing. It's got to be embarrassing in the film room.
Yeah, it's because it's his second year too. It's not like he's a rookie. He knows his shit. He knows what needs to be. He knows what he is held accountable for. Like, he knows what an NFL receiver. But I will say, watching Bryce look through his progressions, I didn't see the confidence he had when he was playing the Rams. Looking back on how he looked through his progressions against the Rams, he was looking and he sat. And it was maybe because the D-line – I mean, the Rams' D-line is really good too. So,
Yeah.
Seattle's D-line maybe a little bit more scarier. I don't know in that scenario. But it did look like he was glancing off those progressions a little bit quicker than he normally was when he was playing confident against the Rams, Like, he checked down pretty quick before the play. The receivers even finished in the routes. He was already throwing the ball down to the check down. Maybe because he felt like he was getting pressured more. I don't know, but it was tough to watch. And I will say the defense did play great against Seattle. A great offense.
Yeah. And this might have some. I don't want to make excuses for the fellas here, but as a football team, how weird does it have to be to come into this week? It's Christmas week, right, where you're celebrating holidays. Come into this week and know in the back of your head, this game really doesn't matter. Knowing in the back of your head, we just got to handle business week 18 in Tampa Bay. Knowing in your head, even if we beat Seattle and we shock, the NFL world, we're still going to be the 4th seed in the playoffs, and we're still going to have to beat Tampa. And, I don't know if that has a little bit to do with it, where it's just like the weather was not the best, which I had a blast. I thought it was great football weather. It also helps when you have a high noon in your hand or something like that. But, I think that the team seemed very vanilla, and I think that was on purpose, right? Because we don't want to just show too much. We don't want to show we're going to hold off on our really good plays, right? Because the game that really matters is next week, and we're probably going to see Seattle, unless they handle business, we're going to see Seattle in 2 weeks, or we're going to see San Francisco. 2 teams we've played this season and hung in there to where little minor mistakes is really the reason we lost. If you look at both of those games. So not too worried about it. I know I was talking trash because being a Panther fan, I'm actually pretty confident in the Panthers against the Bucs. Just, we look like we're getting better, and Tampa looks like they're getting worse. And the only lack of confidence here is Baker's a veteran guy that's been to the playoffs. Bryce never has, right? Who's gonna absorb the pressure the best this week?
Yeah, I see you making faces over there, AM.
I know he's got some insight.
What are those faces over there? Yeah,
Nothing,
okay.
man. Nothing.
We believe in the thirds over here.
I know, dude. Look, I love it, dude. I really do. Look, you guys got to understand. My background is I was a massive Panther fan, bro. Like, but again, it's kind of like the girl who cheated on you a couple times, man. Like, you might go back one time just because you're like, she might come back and she might be good, and then she does it again.
She changed. She changed.
She
got a new head
You
coach.
have so many excuses. You know what I mean? And then you come back for the third time, you're just a little bit more hesitant. You know what I mean? So I've had so much greatness in the Panthers for a long time. I've had a lot of passionate and emotional games that I sat in and watched and rooted for, but they just let me down too many times, especially at times when it mattered. So I'm just hesitant. I'm not against them. I'm just hesitant to come back full swinging as a pure fan. I am a fan. I'm just not as much as I used to be just because they let me down too much. That's all. But they are ramping that confidence back up. So they are stepping up in the right direction. We'll see what they do. If they make playoffs or go into the playoffs, things of that. They could continue to surprise me. So they do that. We'll see what happens. But my thing is I want to see it on a long-term scale. I don't want just one good season and the next season they just shit the bed again. I need this to ramp back up into greatness, Coaching is looking good. Bryce is looking super confident. You get a couple more additions to that team, I think we can build some momentum, and you'll have me as a full-on fan here. Right now I got one toe in, one toe out. I'm not against them. I'm just not jumping all in like you guys. That's all. I'm not rooting against y'all either.
Hey, Alan, I ain't saying we're winning. I ain't saying we gonna win the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, no way. I was making faces because those are tough teams to beat. You mentioned the Seahawks. You mentioned the 49ers. These teams here is like, that's tough. Those are tough teams to beat. So when I was making those faces, I was like, no matter who it is that we face, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be very tough, especially playoff time. Like you said, Bryce has never been. And this week, I just really think that, dude, the Bucs need to win, man. They need to win. They're looking bad. They're looking bad, and I think they just need one win to kind of go out of the season with some form of confidence, on their shoulders. So that would be my prediction long term. I know we still got to discuss it, but I hope the Panthers win. But dude, the Bucs, they need a win so bad it's not even funny. They need a win as bad as air.
Yeah. Todd Bowles does. I think there are talks that they're thinking about firing him if they miss the playoffs.
It's close, man. They looked terrible this year, and I remember them last year. It's kind of like the reverse. Like the Panthers last year wasn't shit. That's why no one believed in them this year.
Right.
Now they flipped the script, and same thing with the Bucs. The Bucs looked really good last year. And they even looked really good in the beginning of the season, but something may have happened in the locker room, coaching, injuries, whatever the case may be. Something flipped, and they just have not been able to pick that back up. I don't know what it is, but we'll see if they, fix it this week. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, shoot. Chase, we want to run the numbers on this one?
Numbers, you want to go ahead and get into the predictions for the Pats?
Yeah, why not? Why not? Since I'm saying let's just stay. We'll stay on the Panthers here. Keep it on topic. Down in Tampa, it'll be an interesting one. Alan, I'm really intrigued to kind of see where your numbers are looking on this game here. As a fan, I know it's probably going to go down the list. Me, Chase, and Nigel are all going to pick the Panthers. Right, we're homers. That's what we do. But
it's not a bad play, man. It's really not a bad play though.
Panthers aren't favorited, which is a good sign, right? If we continue to follow that pattern that we've been hitting for the past 7 or 8 weeks, I think, where it's been a win-loss, we're due to the dub, and that's how the pattern would go. It's a win this week. It just means it's loss in the wild card, which looks pretty likely, like we were talking about with the 49ers or Seattle matchup in the first round. At the end of the day, I'd love to just see the squad make the playoffs, as I've been saying at the beginning of this podcast. But I do think Carolina's going to pull this off, and it's going to be a close one, and it's probably going to be what I'm going to be locked in. Guys, don't forget 4 o'clock on Saturday, right? So this won't even be Sunday. This will be the first game to kick off the season. We don't have a Thursday night because we got college football. And, which, Georgia's going to win it all there. But that's my little college prediction.
I'm going to need AJ's plays on all the college.
Georgia's winning the Natty. Georgia's winning the Natty.
I'm just being real. I'm going to need all those plays, man.
Count them all out. Oh, I ride with the South, man. SEC is going to show the Big Ten boys how to play football. But
I love it.
I did do a future a few weeks back. So that's what we're kind
He's
of
extra
riding on.
invested.
Okay.
And Alan, I will say your formula does not work as well with college football.
Really? Dang.
Yeah,
I thought it
yeah.
would because all the eyes are on it. At least for like big games
Well,
like this.
it was like the little pro or little bowl games, like
It, yeah, it worked yesterday.
rinky dinky, like little tiny schools.
Oh, I feel it. Yeah, okay, I gotcha. Yeah,
Not enough
for
money.
NFL at least yesterday, it worked because all the money was on Rams to win and Rams spread. So I was just like, I'm just gonna throw in a funny +7.5 Atlanta Falcons, and it ended up cashing.
No
Hey,
way.
there you
Never
go.
thought in my entire life that they were gonna win. Not even get
Well, no,
close to the spread.
I was talking about college football. Is with the
Oh, okay,
strategy
yeah,
where the
yeah,
strategy was
yeah,
heard. Yeah. Like when
yeah.
it was small schools. Like I guess
Oh yeah, no,
Vegas don't really care on those.
they
No
don't
one's
care
watching
about
them
that.
anyway.
Nah, they don't care about that. They say you can have it. They say you can have it.
Yeah.
They want everybody to get focused on the big games. Do it during the big games for sure.
And just since we're on the topic, and you said you went with Atlanta, dude, I looked yesterday and it was like 80-20 money line Rams.
Yep,
I was just ain't no way. That thought went in my head. I'm like, there just ain't no way.
yep.
And I had him just
Something gonna
Damn.
put your
happen.
phone in your pocket. And then I was at the Hornets game with the family yesterday, and I just looked down to check, and people are going crazy because Bijan won a lot of people fantasy championships
Oh, that's
last night.
right.
He
Yeah,
went
that's right.
off,
And
dude.
yeah,
Oh
and
my
I'm looking, I'm
God.
like 21-0 at half. And I'm just sitting there thinking, and the exact thing I thought, I'm like, that money line was 80% Rams.
Yep. But like you said
And
though,
then
like,
the Puka catch they called incomplete. It's just
dude,
like,
that was crazy
Whoa.
catch, man.
But
That
he
was a
didn't catch
crazy
it.
catch.
They showed another angle where it was completely separated from his body when he was falling out of bounds. Did you not see that
but
angle?
Oh,
he's
really?
holding it in
I
his
didn't.
hand. He's holding it in his
Yeah, I was
hand.
gonna say I saw the one
Yeah.
where he held it in his hand, one-handed catch.
When he was
It would be like
when he was
it would
going.
have been a catch of the year if it counted.
Are you talking about when he was going out of bounds and
Going out
At
of
the end of
bounds
the game.
with his left
at the end
hand.
of the game? Yeah, they showed another
I
angle
didn't see the
where
other angle.
when that's what I was thinking too. I'm like, holy crap, that's catch of the year, whatever. And then they showed this other angle of it for like a second where it was literally floating in between, and it was like that for a second where the defender was kind of separated. When the defender started separating and it was just him falling to the ground, it showed there was a little bit of separation. I could try to find that picture. I'll put it in at this mark.
Oh well,
See if I
yeah,
can get it.
yeah. I didn't.
Um,
I didn't see it from that angle. I just saw it from the angle. Just from what the game was playing, and I thought it was a one-handed catch. I was like, yeah, someone made a call about that on why they returned that one. But you could be right though too,
yeah.
Chase. Like if I see it from a different angle, I've been proven wrong a lot. So I just haven't seen it from that angle though. But
It's funny, dude, because I was getting into with my dad about it, like the NFL's rigged, and he was like, "Oh no, like show me the details." And I mean, like, I'm on the fence about it. Obviously, you talked
man, there's
about
a
it,
lot of you can
AJ.
show them.
Yeah, there's a lot, and and like I haven't put enough evidence together to get me to, believe fully. I mean, I was that way with the NBA, and then I saw enough where it's like there's actual NBA players that are getting in trouble for throwing games. So it's like,
Yep.
are
Soon
they
it'll
just
be
doing it?
coaches too.
Yeah,
Coaches are
well,
coming soon.
there's already coaches getting in trouble. The same thing with Scary Terry Rozier. He was one of my
Yep.
favorite
Chauncey Billups.
Hornets. Yeah, but
Yeah, he was a dog. That's a part of it, Chase, is like that man was averaging 24, 25 points, like as much points as even more points than Brandon Miller at one point.
Yeah.
He was a dog, and then he gets transferred to the Miami, which he should play better in because of his environment, and then also he had the ball in his hands a lot more. And then that man turned into a D League player, which is like that's not going to happen, dude. Like you were average, like on a worst night, you're at least getting 20 on your worst night, and now you're just not even averaging 5 points. Something ain't adding up. So it's just little things like that, man. Can't trust it.
yeah, and there's like, my biggest thing is where it's like there's so much money. There's so much money. So
Chase,
it's like
and that's saying that
that-
is still an understatement. It's still an
Yeah,
understatement to
yes,
say so much.
yes.
Like
Like-
a lot of money being moved, man. A lot.
yeah, so it's hard not to believe that. So, I mean, me and my brother, like, we're standing on this hill. I'm still kind of like iffy about it, just because like it's hard for me to believe that people get out there and do that in the NFL. But I mean, I don't know. You never know. There's so much money that, like you said, it's understatement. There's
Yeah, so much money being moved.
yeah,
And
so much.
yeah, and to go with what you're saying, Chase, like it's part of you, man. Like you don't want to let it go. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the things. I was just talking to a buddy of mine about that today, where it's like there's sports are getting to the point where you may have to start leaving emotion out of it because it's not like what we used to grow up to, man. Like it's not like the people are competitive anymore. They really want to win. They want a title. A lot of people right now are doing it for money. People join the league, they get in the league, they sign a contract, and then they stop being better. Year and year after year after year, because once they get paid, they just kick their feet up. And we've been seeing that more times than not. And that's not just with NFL. That's in all sports. And so I think when you have the mindset around money more times than not, that that focus on that and that reward in a sense kind of shifts to that as opposed to just being the best person you can be within the sport. And so I was talking to him today, like it's hard to leave the emotion out, Chase, because it's like growing up, if you believed in Santa Claus your whole life and then by the age of like 14, 15, your parents are like, all right, he's not real. And you're like,
Yeah.
And even though you said even though they're like, nah, it's not real, it's like there's some part of that emotion that's still stuck with you, where it's hard to let it go. And then another quote, like I heard this, or I think I read this like a couple weeks ago, but it kind of makes sense. Like, have you guys ever heard the saying like it's so easy to fool someone? Like, anyone can get fooled. You know that saying?
No, but I've heard the saying like where they're referring to like it's like taking candy from a baby or something. But I don't know.
Yeah,
it's so easy.
Yeah,
to
you
fool.
can. Yeah, so kind of like what you're saying, like it's like taking candy from a baby. It's just easy to like I could tell AJ something, and if I say it convincingly enough, because he doesn't know me as much, he'll probably buy it. Same thing with you, Chase, or same thing with anyone. So like it's easy to fool people, but you know what? It's almost impossible to do. It's almost impossible to convince someone that they got fooled.
Oh,
It's tough.
Too much pride.
Because
to admit
too
it.
much pride, too much emotion, too much connection. It's hard for them to admit that they've been wrong. But it's so easy to get fooled, but it's so hard to admit to ourselves that we got fooled. Or to have someone else convince us that we got fooled. It's hard in our head to conceptualize and compartmentalize. So once I read that, I was like, dang, it took about a week, 2 weeks for it to actually kick in, but it's true, man. And I think it sucks because sports is an amazing thing. It brings people together. It brings people emotions out of people that you never even imagined. Hell, we're even doing a show based on sports. Like, there's just so many avenues of greatness when it comes to sports. So it sucks that it's hard. It's very hard to leave emotion at the door. And I think we shouldn't leave it at the door. But when it comes to, I guess, making money, like if you're trying to get serious, I think that's one of the things we have to adapt to, unfortunately. It sucks, but it's just the truth.
Well, this is what I'm curious about. I like this is a fun topic to talk about because I agree with you. I definitely think with basketball, there's probably more players that are in on it than we know. Do you think football players are in on it on games getting fixed?
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
For sure.
Damn.
Yeah, I think so.
Damn.
There was even a college play. I forget what team. I'm not like crazy into college, but there's a team I saw on the news where, and they were just playing it like it was regular because the team was coming back and everything. He caught like a 50-yard catch, and he had a straight lane to the end zone. Straight lane. No one was behind him, and instead of running to the end zone, he runs out of bounds. He skirts out of bounds, and
Was that in college?
why would?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a college team. I don't remember what team or what player, but I saw that and I was like, phone call, man. Because it's a kid. It's 18, 19, 20-year-old kid. Oh, you got in trouble for it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that he actually
Okay.
got for
Yeah.
cheating, throwing games.
There you go.
But we're talking, that's a small college kid that's probably getting no NIL, very
For sure.
minimum, right? Who has no money. This is what I'm saying. And I know some NFL guys, but they're not like high up. They're not like Patrick Mahomes. They're not like superstars. But I feel like football is such a game where it's so hard for just one player to fix. And with basketball, it's not, right? You can miss shots, you can miss free throws, you can foul, right? You
Oh
can
yeah.
really
Oh yeah.
do damage as one player. With football, it's so hard to do that, right? Because if you're a receiver, there's only certain positions, right? Special teams is probably one of the biggest where it'd be the easiest with a kicker or a punter, having a bad punt. But
Right.
I think with the sport of football, and I don't disagree with you on games being rigged. I definitely do think games are getting rigged. I think football is the type of sport where you can rig a game with just reffing,
Yeah. 100%.
because
Yeah.
reffing can destroy a drive, it can kill momentum,
It can mess
and
up an entire line. Like if someone's
it
line
can
was 29 and a half, they get a run for 30 yards, they call it back.
pass
Reset.
interference. There in football, there's a lot of judgment calls,
Freaking
right? And judgment calls is the ref's judgment to the best of his ability, which is a little shady, right? But it's called a judgment call, and that's like pass interference, holding, face masks. Going back to the game with the Panthers, JC's face mask wasn't really that much of a face mask, but it put us out of reach and it put the game away.
I mean,
Um,
that was a face mask, but it wasn't intentional. But it was definitely a face mask. And but
all right, well, keep in mind it was fourth quarter and I'd been there all day. So
yeah.
That was a low scoring game. That's funny you said that.
I was pissed too about it. No, you're so right. And the funny thing you said about it is because people talk about this year being the worst year for refs when their contract, they have a contract with the NFL, is up in May. All these refs, so it's kind of, puts up, that question that's like, okay, are they working to keep their job, re-sign a contract? Like, what is going on if they're making all these shitty calls? I always
are they trying to squeeze all the juice out while they can?
trying to squeeze, get as much money as possible before they walk away from this, buy throwing games. Like, who knows? And it's like they're like, screw it, it's coming to the end. I don't really have to like worry about that. So it's kind of begs that question for sure. And like I always think about the Rams Saints NFC Championship game. That was a blatant freaking pass interference call on the Saints.
Oh yeah, that's one to always go back on. Like
Every
unbelievably not
Yeah,
called.
Like, that's when I really
a lot of
started
people were
thinking
talking about
it.
McAfee talked about that game, didn't he? Yeah.
Oh yeah. A lot of people have talked about that game.
I saw Portnoy said something. Yeah.
Well, it's also another thought is like, I feel like I've been sitting around watching games, sitting at a restaurant with some buddies and hearing, gosh, I feel like reffing's just been so bad these past few years. And you know what clicks in my head? I'm like, what has been ramping up these past few
Everything,
years?
dude. Gambling is everywhere, bro.
My buddy's sitting there telling me how
Dude,
bad
it's
the
serious.
reffing
I'm
is.
serious.
Meanwhile, we got a FanDuel commercial on during the
Everywhere.
commercial break. And it's
Everywhere.
like we really wondering what's going on.
You can't even take a piss in a freaking bar without hearing download DraftKings Sportsbook.
Or
you'll get
a poster
$200
right up there.
or a poster, something,
Yeah.
man. Like people that aren't even in sports are telling everyone to go gamble on sports. Like it's everywhere, man. It's
getting shoved down our face. Like bet.
Yeah.
I didn't even know what Bet 365 was until like 2 weeks ago. Apparently they've been around for a while. I'm like, who is this?
Yeah, I use them. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, look.
Not bad.
I used it a year ago too.
Yeah.
It got legal, or 2 years ago, back when it became legal. I just was signing up for all the free promotions and all that stuff.
That's how
With
you
me
do it,
and
man.
I did Aubrey's phone too. Did all the promotions. But I didn't. I mean, I
Oh,
didn't
that's hilarious.
money, but yeah, no, dude, you guys were right, spot on. But to that point, we'll get into like more of the predictions and stuff. So you kind of talked about it, AJ, a little bit. Panthers versus Bucs. You said the Panthers are gonna get the dub.
Yeah, I want to to bring that back to full circle. What was that? 15 minutes ago, I dropped off on that. Back to it. We're locked back in.
Yeah.
Let's go. I'm gonna go 28-24 Panthers.
28-24 Panthers.
Actually, take that back. Make that 27. 27-24. It's gonna be a field goal.
27
Gotta go for my boys.
Panthers. And then Nigel's Panthers 20-17. I mean, I really think the Panthers will get this dub. That's where I want to lean as a fan. Obviously, um, it's funny you look at the Bucs. They were playing lights out with all their star players injured and out, and now they've got their full roster back, and they've added more players, and it seems like they've gone more downhill. Now, at the end of the day, Baker Mayfield, he's found ways to win games, but I think, gosh, I want to say the Panthers win this one, but something's pulling me saying, like, being not a fan, saying the Bucs are going to get this dub and we're going to have to watch the Falcons and the Saints. And I hate to say it, but I think it's going to be watching that Seahawks game, the Panthers playing at home, I was like, bro, what? And I think that was something that they needed to have, a little spank in the face, punch in the face, whatever, and wake up. But I don't know. I think the Bucs win this one. I think it's 20-17 Bucs, and I hate going against the Panthers. I hope I don't get this one right. I hope I get this one.
Because when you're wrong, I'm gonna give you a spank to the face.
Spank to the
I'll
face.
tell you, spank to the face. That's what you're saying.
I know, it's spank to the face.
Spank to the face, man. That's an ass kicking.
Oh shit! All right, hey, what we looking at? Like the best? Where's the money going? How we looking?
All right. So far, and again, things can change throughout. But so far, we got Carolina as underdogs. Their spread is sitting at +3, and then the over/under sitting at 43.5 or 44, depends on the sports book there. Majority of the money is on Tampa Bay to win outright. So that -140 line, a lot of people are hammering that. Then you got about 40% of the people on Carolina Panthers. Now, the biggest thing to be focused on for this game is that a lot of people have, well, not a lot. It's like between that 56% when it comes down to Tampa Bay money line. But over 87% of the money is on Carolina to cover. So, with that being said, that's where Vegas make the most money if they do not cover. So, if the Tampa Bay wins, and the Tampa Bay not only wins but covers that 3 points or more, that's where Vegas would actually make the most money. So that's just something to look at. So,
and it's a primetime game.
It's a primetime game, all eyes on it.
Yeah.
So this is where a lot of swaying can go. Now, the other thing to keep in mind as well is that 83% of the money is on the over. So this might be like a game with Seattle and the Panthers were, where I was watching that game, or I saw updates and I knew people were there, and I was like, would you guys want to get your what you had to pay for tickets? Would you want that back? Because looking at halftime at 3-3, I was like, yo, this game's got to suck in person right now, dude. This game's got to suck. I didn't unfortunately go, but I knew a lot of people that did go, and I was like, you guys probably should ask for a refund. This is bad. And it was raining or sprinkling outside too. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I knew it started picking up after the second half, which is good. But that first half was crazy. But either way, I say all that to say this game might be an under just based on where the money is. So I think, just looking at it, I'm going to say Tampa Bay covers the -2.5 spread, and then the game goes under 44.5. So kind of like where you guys said, 2017, that's still under 44. I can see that kind of score as well. So that's what I'm looking at there.
Tampa covers and under.
Which -2.5, by the way, Tampa covering is basically what
3.
you said, Chase.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Like you get a field goal, you win by field goal. So still super close game, but they still cover.
And Chase has the under there too.
I do.
He does have the under.
Oh boy.
So it looks like it's me and you, Chase, for Tampa Bay, and then AJ and Nigel holding it down for Panthers. So one side's going to be talking shit by next week.
Well,
Did Chase just write the script for the game?
I don't want to say
maybe,
anything crazy,
maybe.
But every
This
single
video
time,
would go viral if he did.
So anytime me and Alan, Mr. AM, PM, with lots of colons in the bank account, PM, every single time we've gotten our guesses the same. All right, we've had the same guesses versus you and Nigel every single time. we have won that bet. Just so you know, it goes back to what
Ooh.
we go to. I can't even think of the game I was.
So the people listening, they know what to hammer for Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're basically saying me and Nigel have that that dumb American football fan brain where we think we know ball, and that's what everyone else goes with, just for Alan to tell us, hey, everyone else agrees with you, so you're going to be wrong.
And it's funny because, and then the reason why I go with Allen is because I just go to the
You want to
opposite
go
way.
against us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fade, just straight faded.
Oh man. Oh boy.
Whatever
Okay.
works.
Yes, whatever
Yeah.
works, man.
My job is just to try to get people to cash. I gotta
That's
leave
the
no
point,
shit
though.
out the door.
Vegas wants people to think like me and Nigel, where it's like, oh,
Exactly.
Panthers cover,
Duh.
and
Why
then
not?
and
They
then
beat them multiple
Bucks
times.
Bucks come out and win by 14.
And then Ibuka gets like 2 touchdowns, Mike Evans 2 touchdowns, and Baker Mayfield just runs one in just cause. Like it's just gonna be something dumb like that.
Yep.
I'll
And
put
then
up
I'm already done watching the game. It's halftime.
Exactly.
man. I'll put up
Baker
that.
Mayfield throws for 300 yards for no reason. Dude remembers how to throw the ball at the last game just because everyone's on Carolina Panthers thread. Like, come on.
All right, so we got those put in. Now we'll go to the Seahawks 49ers Saturday night game. I'll throw in what Nigel put. He put Seahawks taking the dub 24-23. I like it, but I don't think the Seahawks are going to win this one. I think they're going to take a L to the 49ers. I think 49ers get the dub here. They're playing pretty good. I mean, they played really good. Brock Purdy's playing really good. I think,
Really good.
I think they're rolling into the playoffs. There's a few teams that are hot right now going into the playoffs, and that's what you need going into the playoffs. Hot teams going into the playoffs is no matter what the regular season looked like really for you. But obviously they got a great record. They got a tough division, and I think they beat the Seahawks here on Saturday night. And I'll say like 24-13. And I want to say, AJ, I know you went to the game. Speaking of the Seahawks, our boy Derek Young on the Seahawks at number 83. Dude, I was pointing out to Nigel because he plays gunner on punt return and punt, and I was like pointing him out. Well, he goes in for this third down play, and I was like, oh shit, he's going in, whatever, third down. He runs a route, and Sam freaking throws him the ball, drops it. And I was like, no, 3rd and 8, drops the fucking first down. I'm like, no. That's tough. But, I mean, he is looking jacked, bro. He is looking jacked.
I remember the exact play you're talking about.
Yeah. It was like his first rep at receiver, I think, on that play. Because he was playing special teams that whole game until then. And it was a pretty big down. Put him in, and I was like, damn. And I looking down at him, I'm like, holy shit, dude, he's looking huge. I'm like, that's an NFL receiver right there, dude. We played with him. Yeah, no did he. But yeah, and then freaking speaking another teammate, Kyle Duggar on the Browns, or not on the Browns, the Steelers with that touchdown Shadur's threw to number 44. I can't even remember his name. But yeah, the touchdown and. Kyle was like looking up through the ball, and it was a duck, and I was like, no. But hey, those are our boys, freaking playing in the NFL, man, doing their thing.
That's right.
But
That's right. Yeah, I'm happy for Derek. He's making a good career. Getting in, good run blocker when he plays on offense. He's getting a few reps. Some offensive downs, and then he's a special teams guy, hustle guy. Does his job. So.
yeah.
I think his contract's up this year, so if Seattle doesn't re-sign him, I'm sure somebody else will. I'm not too
His
worried.
contract's up. Okay. Yeah, that's awesome, man. I hope he gets a good payday.
Shoot, bring him back here. Add him to our special teams,
dude.
or even our offense. I think he's better than XL.
Guaranteed. XL might have a little bit more size, like lengthwise on him, but he's still.
He ain't jumping off sides.
That's true.
He ain't running out of bounds instead of getting 2 feet in.
Yeah, dude. I think the role for being a franchise receiver for us was a little bit too big for him, and it got to his head. And now I think he's trying to meet expectations, and I think he's getting into his head too much. I think that's the same thing that really what happened with Cam Newton is it went downhill when he started getting in his head too much, and I think that's when the reason why XL did so well at South Carolina is because he didn't really think about it. You know, he didn't really expect to be the star receiver.
It was easier.
It was easier, obviously,
Yeah.
because college and stuff. But still, I think he's just getting in his head too much about being the star and T-Mac coming in, and I think it's amplified.
Coker's better.
Yeah, honestly. So I'm curious to see what happens to him after this year. But that would also be awesome to have Tariq down in North Carolina, back down in Charlotte.
Yes,
But
sir.
all right, so I'll do the 49ers taking the dub 24-13. AJ, what you thinking?
I am with you 100% on this. Just after watching Seattle, I think they struggled offensively against the Panthers, and the 49ers are hot. Put up a bunch of points on a decent Chicago defense. I see 49ers 35, Seattle 20.
Damn.
Yeah, and this is for the division here.
This is for the division.
49ers win. They are number 1 seed in the NFC, and they get a bye.
Oh, yeah. They're getting the dub.
Because they beat Chicago. Since they beat Chicago. So, because it would have been Chicago. I think if Chicago would have beat them, then it would be Chicago if the 49ers won. But since they beat Chicago, it's the winner of Seattle and the 49ers, which is why they're getting the 8 o'clock on Saturday.
Yeah.
Winner gets the bye.
NFL did a good
big
job
game.
with these games, especially.
Yeah, they made sure that, a lot of good ones lined up.
Yeah.
It's interesting how good they are at doing that, right, Alex?
And you look back, dude.
I just follow data. Follow data.
Yeah.
And money. That's all I do. And then I present the info with you. How you guys decide to take it, that's up to you.
Well, if you look back on Christmas Day game, Chiefs versus Broncos, you look at preseason. I was thinking about that when we were looking at that game, and like preseason, it's like, oh, that's going to be a good ass game. Late December, Christmas Day, freaking right before the playoffs, Broncos and Chiefs going into postseason. That's going to be a great game. But things happen. Chiefs are toast and done, just like the Lions. And but Alan.
If anything, I thought it'd be opposite.
Yeah, really. Okay.
You know?
Honestly, yeah, because like Sean Payton, it's a young team with the Broncos. Their defense though is so good.
I know, but I remember looking at it and being like, "Gosh, I really hope Denver has a good year, so that's a good game." And then it was just completely flipped.
That's crazy, man. It's crazy. But Alan, I'll let you get into the numbers and everything. What are we looking at here?
13-3 versus a 12-4. We're looking at Seattle minus 112. They're the favorites. Seattle's the favorites. While San Francisco is at home. This is crazy now. This is something. This right here got me stooped because now I'm confused. Right? I think. I think I know what I'm going to play, but this one is a tough one to kind of predict. But we got San Fran, obviously underdogs, but by plus 100, so it's basically double up. And then you have the spread sitting at plus 2.5. Obviously, San Fran's way. So, and keep in mind too, with San Fran being at home, they get that extra 2-3 point juice. So realistically, they think Seattle can win by like a field goal or so. Obviously, with that spread, but a little bit by more, maybe even by a touchdown. So. And the one thing I will say, this is a great game when it comes to player props and more, just because the total's so high, and it makes sense too with San Fran scoring like who they just played before where they were just going back and forth the Bears.
Bears, yeah.
Just trading touchdowns over touchdown over touchdown. So this one's a good one for that. But the total is sitting at 49.5. So that's something to keep in mind. Now let's see where the money is. That'll kind of help with the prediction here. San Fran got 58% of the money on them currently. Again, things can change as the time goes. But right now, and I don't disagree with you guys. I think a lot of people are thinking San Fran's going to take this away just from them seeing that they beat the Bears. They're relentless. Brock Purdy's doing his thing. He's stepping up. George Kittle. All these guys are just doing what they need to do to get things done. So I don't think I'm against you guys there or the public. Majority of the money is on San Fran. But keep in mind, with the majority of money on San Fran and them being double up, odds, that's where I would try to look at some questions here, right? And then the other thing is a lot of people have money on the spread. So San Fran to, that plus 2.5. So again, all the numbers to kind of keep in mind. And then lastly, we have 60% of the money on the over for this game. So a lot of people are on San Fran just like you guys are. A lot of people are on the over too. I honestly think this game could go over. They just both have great players they could throw to and score with. Sabernet doing his thing. This guy, Kenneth Walker, when's the last time he scored a touchdown? I don't know. But either way, they got units.
They're kidding.
They got people. But they got people to throw to. JSN, he owes me a touchdown. I had a 3-leg parlay with freaking Mike Evans, JSN, and Jamar Chase. All I needed was JSN. And, of course, this guy sells me. So he's probably due. Just because he missed it last week, that means you probably should triple down on him this week. He's getting it.
Absolutely.
So he's getting it. So that's something to keep in mind for that game. But, yeah, honestly, this is my prediction here. I think I'm with you guys with San Fran winning. But going based on the money, I'm probably going to say instead of doing San Fran plus 2.5, I would say my favorite play here would be Seattle plus 3.5. So Seattle win, or if San Fran wins, it'll just be by a field goal. Something weird.
I like that.
So I would say the best play for this game, do an alternate line, Seattle plus 3.5. What did I say? Plus 3.5.
Yep.
They won't lose by a field goal. Might be a little bit juice line, but it'll probably be worth the play, in my opinion. And then add that with the JSN touchdown anytime. And I think that
throw it in a parlay. Throw it in a parlay. It'll make it a little bit better.
Get the extra little sauce in there, a little salt in there.
Yeah.
What about CMC? You think CMC is going to get an anytime touchdown too?
Yeah, he's got to, man. It's probably like minus 500, but yeah, he'll probably
get it. I was going to say.
Minus, 185. I definitely think in the play, though.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, that's not bad. I don't hate that.
And then over the Seahawks? Or no, it's the over...
67% of the money is on the over, so a lot of people think it's going to go over. With the way Seattle played last game against the Panthers, I don't know. But I do see how San Fran plays, and they score a lot. So it could be a toss-up. I think I might fade the public just because this is one of those primetime games, all eyes on it. 67% of the money is on the over. I might just sprinkle on the under. But I do think, personally, I think it's, emotionally, I think it's over. But looking at the money, it's probably going to go under. That's how I feel about that.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Fair.
Well, we'll throw those bets in. Now, moving on to the Sunday spread, we got two games that I really wanted to focus on. The Saints versus the Falcons and the Ravens and Steelers. So, Saints versus Falcons, I'll throw up AJ's little divisional picture up here one more time for the minute mark. But we'll go over, what it looks like. Obviously, you can tell from the picture kind of what it means for the Panthers and the Bucs for who wins this game. Now, I'll go ahead with Nigel's pick. He went with the Falcons, 24-10, smoking the Saints. I like where his head's at, because the Falcons are playing good. Bijan Robinson, who's going to stop him? That Saints defense is good, but it's like, I was looking at this stat, what was it? So most yards after contact in a single season, Bijan Robinson this season at 190. Almost at 200. Almost got to 200, 10 yards short of 200. The next person in line was Barkley in 2019 when he was on the Giants versus the Washington Commanders. That was the next person in line, 168 yards after contact. And then Adrian Peterson, 167. Derrick Henry, 164. And then Jonathan Taylor, 159. And that was this season against Atlanta, actually. But that game last night, he put up 190 yards after contact. So he's a beast, dude. This guy is generational talent. Oh my gosh, I love watching him play. Him and like Gibbs, but Gibbs kind of fell off a little bit because the Lions weren't playing so hot. But it's kind of frustrating as like I'm not obviously a Falcons fan, but I can see how it's frustrating to be a Falcons fan, seeing this kind of happen in the back end of the season where you're seeing your team kind of get things together and they're playing like this when it's like doesn't really matter. I mean, obviously, I saw on the internet somewhere where there's like a slight percentage that the Falcons could still make the playoffs, something crazy like that. I don't know the whole statistics with all that and everything, but it's just kind of crazy. But I'll let AJ kind of give me your prediction before I give you mine. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. It's like, are these the two hotter teams in the NFC South right now? You know, would
Crazy.
you rather play the Panthers or Bucks or the Falcons in the playoffs? I feel like with just how well they're running the ball right now, and Bijan is, he is that guy. I traded him in fantasy on week 2, and
No.
the guy I traded him to, it was a big package, but the guy I traded him to won the championship last night, so that's always nice to see. And he
Ah,
needed Bijan to go off to win, and that's exactly what happened. But neither here nor there. Moving on from it, I'm not going to dwell. I do think Atlanta's going to win here. I just think just because I did see that chase, and I'm interested to find out who else has to lose for Atlanta to get in. I think that might be out of it though. I think it was kind of I think with the Bucs losing to Miami, that kind of killed that possibility. Um,
okay.
but we can look into that. But I would say, yeah, I'm going to stick with Atlanta here. I think Bijan's going to do what he does. They're probably going to score 24. Um, I don't want to be too close to Nigel. What do you say? 24 to 10? All right, let me
10.
just go with 20. I'll do 23 to 13. Let's go Atlanta.
Say that again.
23 to 13 Falcons.
23 to 13 Falcons. I like it. I like it. I mean, honestly, so it's funny. I pulled this crazy move where I benched Justin Herbert for my fantasy championship. I was in 4 fantasy leagues. I ended up coming third place in the one that matters, that I had money in. But whatever. I benched my starting quarterback Justin Herbert and put in the Saints quarterback Tyler. What's his
Chuck.
name?
Chuck.
Chuck. I always mess
Yeah.
up his last name. I started him. He ended up getting me some points. And he lit it up enough, but I just don't think he's going to be able to do it against the Falcons defense. They're playing lights out right now. I think they can continue to play lights out. I think they're going to get this dub against the Saints, and I think it's going to be a blowout too as well. But I think I think I'm going to go with like let's see, dude. The Saints are going to score I'll say 3 touchdowns, 21 points, and it'll be 33. Falcons. Falcons 33 to 21. Alan, what's actually going to happen?
Saints 6-10, Falcons 7-9. Both trash but mid teams. Saints away, Falcons home. We might have a 4-0 sweep today, boys. I'm on the Falcons with you guys. But let's look at why, right? So we got Falcons minus 160, New Orleans plus 160, The spread for the New Orleans is plus 3.5. So, field goal maybe by a touchdown or so. And this is why it's so tough, because with Falcons being home, they get that extra 2 to 3 point juice, which really means they think they can win by like 1 point or 2. So realistically. And then we have over/under sitting at about 45. Some sports books you could probably find like 43.5, 44. But let's just say in between 44. Let's just say 44. Most of the money right here is on, it's 50-50 when it comes to money line. So, it's split down the middle. It's hard to predict. But where you can really see some juice here is the Saints at 76% of the money is on the Saints to cover that plus 3.5. So, with it being 50-50 for the money line, 76% for New Orleans to cover, keep in mind Vegas would probably make the most money if Falcons smack them, like by touchdown or so. So everything that you guys have been saying, with Falcons winning, in fact, Vegas would also make a lot of money that game too. Okay. So we're looking good here. We're looking good. But that's just where everything stands right now. I will say, with me doing through analysis and checking ups and downs where the money is at, like hour by hour on the past couple of weeks with the holidays, I've seen things drastically change in a span of a couple hours. So that's what it says now. Just always keep track of it up until game time as well. But what it's sitting at now, most people think spread for the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm sorry, I'm on NBA, but on the Saints, and then we have 93% of the money. This is where we really want to capitalize on. 93% of the money is on the over for this game. So Vegas would make so much money, and I'm talking so much money, if this game goes under. So something to keep in mind as well. I don't know. It could be a toss-up. Both these games are really close, but I'm going to just stick with my prediction would be Falcons minus 2.5. I think they win by a field goal or more. But I think this game may be closer than what you think. It might be like an OT. It might go OT just to kind of get everyone's impulses up, and then Falcons win by the touchdown, which covers that 3.5 spread, but also keeps it super close so everyone's guessing. That's kind of my prediction there.
Okay. All right, let's rock with it. I threw down Falcons money line. I keep saying the Malkins. Frick. So, Falcons money line, they cover the spread, and it goes under 44.5. Boom. We're adding that to the parlay.
We might do a 4-0 sweep though, boys, because we all pick Falcons. So
let's go.
Let's go. If we're wrong, we're gonna get a lot of chirps, but that's okay.
Well, the Lions and the Vikings game, we were wrong. The Vikings beat the Lions, and we all thought the Lions.
We were all on that. Oh,
yep.
Okay.
All
so we're 0-1 right now, boys. We gotta change it.
It's okay. No, we're
come
like
on.
1-1 because I'm pretty sure we did one, but yeah, no, it was one of those easy ones that we all guessed that would get the dub.
And how did that happen?
But dude, because the Lions are done. That's why.
Yeah.
Lions are done, dude.
Yeah. So, speaking of teams that are on the brink of being done, the Ravens and the Steelers. Now, I don't want to say that about the Pittsburgh Steelers because they're my AFC team. I'm a huge Steelers fan. But they played like shite against the Browns. My boy Kyle Duggar's on
understatement.
Playing safety over there. Changed up the number a little bit, but was it 29?
29, yes sir.
That's the number now. 28.
Yep. 29.
Oh, it's 29. Okay. Yep. Yeah. So this one is Sunday Night Football. It's a big one right before the final Week 18 NFL game before the playoffs get kicked off. This is a must-win for the Steelers and, honestly, the Ravens too. Obviously, the way NFL kind of lined it up is looking pretty hot, looking pretty good. I'll let AJ kind of go into his prediction first with this one. Derrick Henry.
We're going to call Nigel's out.
Feeding him the ball. I'll call Nigel's out. Yeah. Let me
I don't
double
want to
check
take it.
real quick. Yeah. He's got the Ravens beating the Steelers 28-17.
All right, Nigel.
28-17. Ravens getting up
All right,
over the
Nigel. I don't know about
Steelers.
that one, buddy. I think
Is
I'd be giving
DK
him a
is
hard
DK
time if he was
playing?
on.
DK
No.
is not
DK's not
playing.
playing, right?
He is
Okay.
not playing.
All right.
Out. I don't know if TJ is playing. But what are we looking at, AJ?
Steelers. Mike Tomlin saves his job.
Steelers.
Aaron Rodgers one last go at the playoffs. The script's already written, fellas. Lamar's done. You think they want Tyler Huntley taking the Ravens into the playoffs? Nah. They're going to try to run the ball. That Steelers defense is going to handle it. Rodgers is going to cripple his way to a win, but it's not going to look pretty. I'm going to go 17. Shoot. I don't even know if Steelers score. Maybe one touchdown. Steelers 16, Baltimore 13. Not going to be an exciting one to watch. Steelers. Mike Tomlin saves his
16-13.
job one more year, and then Rodgers goes on his last run in the playoffs. Sorry, Derek.
Ooh.
Now, if Lamar plays,
That's tough.
I don't think Lamar's playing. Have they announced if he's out or not?
I did not see.
I'm
Let's
assuming
see.
not.
It's still uncertain. No official confirmation. He could play Saturday if he's cleared.
Yeah, he's questionable.
It's questionable. Yeah, so
If Lamar
it's
Lamar
questionable,
plays,
but, I mean,
they win by 20.
so the Steelers win by 20.
No,
Oh,
Ravens will make the playoffs
Ravens?
if Lamar plays. Without Lamar,
I
they're not going
I
to win.
hear you on that. I hear you on that, but I mean, I
I'm
think
sticking
like,
to my
I was
prediction. I'm
looking
sticking
at
to my prediction.
All right, Steelers 16-13. Steelers take the dub over the Ravens. Steelers make the playoffs. Mike Tomlin saves his job. I like it.
Yep.
I like it, and I want that to be true. And I think, like, you look at it, Derrick Henry, without Lamar, plays better games. Apparently, they win more, too, when when they're playing, leaning on Derrick Henry and Lamar's not playing. I think they've got two weapons back there that, are like freaking generational talent. Like, they're freaking animals. You got a D lineman for running back and freaking, I would say, 5-star wide receiver on a good day, but he's not a receiver, obviously. And he's running back too. Lamar is just a freak athlete. I just think, they're doing too much. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore. I think the Steelers do have the ability to win this one. I mean, I think, I don't know. I want to say, like, it's hard to picture someone stopping Derrick Henry, right? Like, that was the reason why they smoked the Packers. Was he had
Yeah.
4 touchdowns. Derrick Henry had 4 touchdowns. Now, is T.J. Watt playing? Does anybody know T.J. Watt's playing? Because I know he
I didn't see him on injury report.
dry needling incident punctured his lung. So, like, that's freaking huge. But if he plays, I think if Huntley is playing instead of Lamar, it's going to be troublesome for them. TJ is going to sack the crap out of him. They really need to just stop Derrick Henry, and I can see them walking away with a dub here. And I think it's going to be a tough watch too. I think 14-10 is what I'm going with the score. 14-10, Steelers take the dub, and they make the playoffs. Because I like the Steelers, and I'm not doing this as a fan because I look at it. Aaron Rodgers has not been killing it, but
It's his last year.
some reason say that again. But except for last year.
No, I said it's his last year.
Oh no, it's
That's
his last
my
year.
assumption.
It's definitely. I mean, I think if he loses, it's not his last year. He'll try to come back next
Nah,
year. But
I think
if
he's
he
done
wins
regardless.
this, yeah. I mean, I like to believe that, but sometimes these guys can't let it go, and he might go. He might try to go. His contract's up, and then he might not announce the retirement. He might announce retirement after nobody picks him up. That's what I'm thinking. Is like nobody's gonna pick him up. He's gonna, all right, I'm retiring. I don't think he'll decide if he loses this game. Now, if he wins this game and goes into the playoffs, this is for sure going to be his last year.
Yeah.
He's going to make a run for the Super Bowl.
They won't
I
make
don't
it,
think he
but
comes back.
he'll retire after they lose.
I don't think so. The AFC is looking hot. Their offense does not look good enough. You can't have your running back leading receptions and not beat Christian McCaffrey and beat these defenses in the AFC. The AFC I mean, there's not really a dominant offense right now that I see that it is in the playoffs. Really, it's mainly just dominant defenses. So I look at, all right, can this team beat a dominant defense? And I don't think the Steelers can. It's funny because I was just listening to Pat McAfee.
Wait, you say there's not a dominant? You think there's not a dominant offense on the AFC or NFC?
I don't think there's really I'm not saying there's no dominant offenses. I'm saying there's more dominant defenses than there are dominant offenses right now going into the playoffs.
On which side? On which
Either
side?
side. I was saying both sides, like all around, like together. I think the 49ers do have a dominant offense. I think they are very good right now. And without George Kittle, I think that is dominant defense. But then I also think that majority of the NFC has dominant defenses like the Rams defense and the Seahawks defense. Because, I mean, I don't know. I see there's more dominant defenses than there are dominant offenses. And normally, I'm looking back on the times where I saw some stat. It was like 2018, 2017 maybe, where it had all the quarterbacks passing yards at the end of the regular season. And then compared to this season. And it was like, this season, the top was 4,000. Was like I don't know who was the very top. It was like 4,000 yards, and it went down to like 2,000. And that was like the top 10. But you look back to 2017, 2018, the top 10 went all the way down to like 4,200. Ben Roethlisberger was at the top at like 5,100. 5,000 yards passing. That's a dominant offense. I mean, he had probably Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell. Like, he had some star athletes, and then Tom Brady was up there. I saw.
Well, don't you think that have to do a little bit with the clock rules because of the fact that they run the clock a lot more?
Like now, are you saying they're doing that?
Yeah.
Now? Run the clock more.
Like if a player pulls you out of bounds, the clock's still running.
They also had less games though too.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Back then it was.
You're
16,
right. You're right.
17,
you got me.
Now it's
18. You got me. That's a really good point. That is a really good point.
Yes, that's why I was like thinking, like, there's not really teams putting up points or fantasy points or whatever, putting up stuff like they are now because those offenses would drive down the field. I'm not saying there's no offenses that are like that, are dominant, that can be dominant. Like San Francisco is the one that kind of sticks out.
It's just not on a consistent level. It's kind of what you're thinking.
Yes, yeah. It's not like consistently dominant. Like when it, because I mean, fuck, they played who did they play? The Bears, Bears were good. That was a good game, everything like that. But I don't know. When they beat the Colts, I mean, that wasn't that impressive. Beating the Colts, like you beat Phillip Rivers and the Colts, like they're frauds, as AJ would say a few weeks back when they were up there, not favorited for the Super Bowl, but the odds were pretty low. for them, pretty high, I guess, for them to win the Super Bowl. Anyways, but yeah, so I'm gonna go with Steelers winning this game. Alan, what are the predictions? What is gonna actually happen?
Man, if only I knew. I would be in a mansion right now. 8 rooms, pool in the back. Looks like a pond out there, but it's a pool. You know, if I knew that answer, but we could just assume and leave it up to chance at this point. But you guys are on the money. Baltimore right now are the favorites, even though we have no idea if Lamar's playing or Huntley, so not too sure. But they are still the favorites. Again, that can always change throughout. And then we have Pittsburgh sitting at plus 165. I will say that did just change, though, because they were plus 160, and then they just changed literally right in front of me. So now they are plus 165, which is not a good look right now for Pittsburgh with it going up in odds. But I'll let you guys know my prediction here in a second. We got the spread sitting at plus 4.5, and then the over-under is at 41.5. So, kind of mid-scoring game. Both teams would have to put up at least 20 each to hit that over, and then 20 each plus like a field goal. A couple touchdowns, both teams. And the last time they played, they did play each other before, and they played in Baltimore, and Pittsburgh did win. It was 27-22, so that also hit the over on that game as well. So something to keep in mind if you think history repeats itself. There you go. But let's check out where the money is. So right now we got Baltimore sitting at 90% of the money is on Baltimore right now. 90%. So you know what I'm already thinking. Already thinking it. I'm with you, AJ. I can feel it. All right? I'm already with you. Then we got
Steel curtain.
65% of the money. 65% of the money on Baltimore covering the spread. So they think they're going to win by minus 3.5. So where Vegas would, I'm talking about rake money. I'm not talking about make money. I'm talking about they would rake it in is if Pittsburgh wins this game. Pittsburgh wins this game, Vegas is going on a party trip Monday. First thing Monday. And then we have the over-under. We have 92% of the money currently on the under. And again, last time they played in Baltimore. They hit the over. They hit 49 points total added up. So, with 92% of the money being on the under, 65 on the Baltimore covering that 3.5 spread, and then also 90% on the Baltimore money line. You heard it here. I'm with AJ. Pittsburgh, baby.
Yes, sir. And what is the over-under?
It's 41.5.
Okay.
They can hit that.
That's
They hit
low.
that last game.
That's low.
That's low. Yeah. But they think, probably with injuries, they're not too sure if Lamar's playing or not. What's his name? DK's not playing. So they're probably incorporating a couple things because DK, that game, I believe he had 1 or 2 TDs. He had a great game, I'm sure. So they're probably taking all those into effect. But I think they might surprise us. And this is going to be a game where all eyes are on it. It's, Sunday night, right?
Yeah,
Sunday
last
night,
game.
All eyes on it. Last game. So, this will depend, too, where if everyone's doing good on their games or in the early games, they may not be as interested. But I'll tell you, if their games aren't going the way they want, they're going to be throwing all the rest of their last dimes on the Sunday night football. So this game could be maneuvered through, I'll just say.
I'm going to keep an eye on it for sure.
I like it. Over for. All right, so I got a money line going 10-leg parlay with all the parlays.
Ooh.
Let's see. We got Bijan anytime touchdown, Atlanta Falcons money line, the total under 44.5. Atlanta Falcons cover the spread. 3. It's not 3.5. It's just 3 at minus 3. Pittsburgh money line. Steelers money line, and then the over 41.5. Jackson Smith and Jigbu anytime. Christian McCaffrey anytime. Under 44.5 total match points, and then that was for the Carolina Panthers Bucs. The under, it goes under 44.5 points, and then Tampa covers the spread for minus 3. And I'm doing $4.36 to win $908. So let's see if that one hits, baby.
That sounds like you.
A little.
That sounds like you got $4.36 in the account.
That's exactly what it means. That's exactly what it means. So we need this dub. We need this
Yes,
dub.
sir. Yes,
Let's
sir.
go.
Let's go. All right, signing off. Appreciate y'all, boys. I salute y'all, and let's tail these bets, make some money, and we'll go chase some games. All right,
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Happy New
sir.
Year, guys, and
Absolutely, y'all.
I'll see y'all in the next episode. All right, peace out.
Let's go. Peace.
Chase the money, chase the money.